I like that little intro.
You like it? Right?
It's
It's quick. It's quick, straightforward to the point.
nice. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay. Hi, Shahida. Hi, Chris. Hi, my
Hi,
lovies. How y'all doing?
girls. How are you?
Happy Sunday, fun day. I'm sitting out on my deck. It's 132 degrees out here in this great state of Massachusetts, but it's about a little after 5 o'clock, so it's kind of breezy, but it's hot, no humidity. So I'm gonna push through. What's
Ah,
going on in LA, Chris? What's the weather?
it's nice. You know, I went to my favorite restaurant on Friday
I know
night.
you did, and I saw
And
it, and I don't even
snowed.
want to ask. I was getting a little territorial because I was about to be like, I saw your story, and I'm like, who the fuck was you with? I know you was with somebody,
No,
and we're not dating, but I'm like, who was you with? Who the hell? Who the
friends of
hell
mine
you
came
had
into
across the
town.
table?
Friends of mine came into town. Her and
Hmm.
her daughter. So I took
Hmm.
them to because they her I met her husband last week and they hooked me up with the Yankees. So the least I could do was take them to
You
Oak-
ain't shitting. So you know what? What you're gonna do right now is you're gonna give a shout out to the restaurant. Tell the folks the
if you're
name
in
of it.
Los Angeles,
Go to the IG, who the chef is, and who the maitre d is, and who the key people that need to talk. They need to talk to if they want to go.
it is called Otium. On Instagram, it's Otium, Otiumla. Tim Hollingsworth is the chef. It is my favorite restaurant in Los Angeles. They've got naan, which is a Indian bread that with truffle butter. They ridiculous. And I took Tanya there when she came into town, and she's hooked on it. And Shahida's gonna go there when she comes into town. It's all good.
But you know, you all have a better palate than she.
Shahida, you will trust me.
Listen to me. Listen. Before I say to get onto the whole listening thing, is our favorite maitre d still there?
I did not see him,
Okay, so we're not gonna.
nor his pearls, nor his mother's pearls.
Exactly. Is our favorite girl there? That
She was not there at the time.
okay? So all right, we'll let
She
that go.
texted me and said, "Why didn't you tell me you? I heard you were here."
See.
So I
So
was
all
like,
right. So
I said, I knew she wasn't. I didn't feel her presence. I would have seen. I'd have seen her if she was there. You know what I
right.
mean? But I didn't. I knew she wasn't. Anyway, so
Anyway,
Odium LA. You got if you're in LA, you need to go to. Oh my God, it's so
we will tag them when we post it.
pricey.
When we post it on our Twitter, IG, Facebook, I will tag OTM on it because when I tell you that naan and the truffle butter, the bucatini,
Spinach
um,
bucatini with
yeah, the spinach bucatini. What else did we have, Chris?
um
The potatoes. We had the
tomato
crunchy.
tart. We have the tomato tart.
We I think we had the tomatoes. They were like crunchy potatoes, not tomatoes. Excuse me.
Mashed potatoes with creme fraiche,
Yes.
and I had them for breakfast the next morning.
Yes.
I'm
And
telling you,
they're not big plates. It's kind of like a tapas style. So you can order it. You get like all these small plates, and everybody at the table can eat and pick at it and do whatever. And then you keep it going. And the drinks are absolutely phenomenal. It's an open kitchen concept where if you're sitting at the table, you can see the kitchen and the chefs and the sous chefs and the servers are all, you can see them working.
90s hip hop.
Yes. And my absolute favorite, because anybody that knows me and knows me well knows that I like to make my own fresh pasta. And they have a person, dependent on the shift, that literally their job is to make fresh pasta. They're rolling it out, they're cutting it into raviolis, gnocchi, bucatini, spaghetti, fettuccine, you name it. And I was obsessed. And it's friendly, it's affordable. So we're not trying to like pawn. I mean, it's pricey, but it's affordable. It's pricey, but it's not
$20.
out of a lot of people's league. Let's
The
just put it
cocktails
like
are
that.
$20.
Huh?
The cocktails are $20.
Sure.
They have a peanut butter banana cocktail, like an old fashioned.
Did we have that?
Yes, I had that. You
Oh, and I took a sip of it. Yeah.
yes, delicious.
I that sounds good. I would try it. I had a watermelon martini last night.
Oh, how was that?
It was delicious.
Where did you have it? Give a shout out.
And you ordered it in public?
Oh. I ain't touching that shit.
Damn.
I have a serious thing about just even if it's a tick, you know what I mean? About watermelon in public.
So you wouldn't go to the Vons and find a big, ripe, juicy watermelon and pick it up and put it in your cart?
Really?
I ain't gonna be mad at you because guess what? I will not do that same thing. I will buy it and I will buy it all cut up in the container and politely place it in my cart. But you will not see me there picking up a watermelon, talking about shaking it.
At the farmer's market today, and I looked at them going.
It's so funny because before I came home, but I had that flag football. I wanted to get. I got to get a watermelon, and I always get a big whole one and cut them up, so and then put it in, plasticware to be in the refrigerator, so to be nice and chilled when I eat it. But you don't buy it in public?
Mm-mm.
I do.
I'll buy it cut up in the container,
and I'll buy some goddamn chicken to go with it.
Oh, we buy some chicken. Let's not get it twisted. We will buy some chicken
together.
But I always have a little bit of a tick of like.
Yeah, I get it. I can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm just
not there.
I get it. I just can't.
And don't get me wrong, it's fucking delicious.
Delicious when you cut it up yourself, a whole watermelon and cut it up. Trust me, it's not. I'm not saying I've never done it. I've done it multiple times.
And one of the healthiest things you can buy.
I know, but now I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not have these people looking at me. I'll just buy it already cut up.
Martini.
Huh? Oh, back to the martini. How was the martini?
It was actually really, you know what? It actually tastes like a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
Ooh, and where did you go to get this? Let's give them a shout out too.
It was the Comedy Connection in Providence. So it was actually really good. But
and tell him who you went to go see, so we'll tag him too.
Woke up with a headache last night. I mean, this morning. It's like any drop of alcohol. I cannot take it. It just literally gives me a headache. I just can't do it.
Wow.
Edibles. That's all I can do.
I need to go get me some new edibles. Anyway, who'd you go see last night?
D.L. Hughley. And
was he funny?
He was funny. He was funny. Of course,
he's more poignant now, right? In his comedy.
I was expecting that, but no, he didn't go all like super political or anything. No, he of course he talked about like the Supreme Court and the whole, sodomy thing and what's he gonna do for his anniversary if he can't do something. But other than that, he wasn't like, hardcore political. I was
that on his podcast. That's all that's all that is.
Yeah.
Probably stand up was probably a little bit of, mind you, I'm doing stand up next Wednesday.
Who?
I'm doing stand up next Wednesday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
In Los Angeles at a.
Well, spill it. Give us the deets.
I'm doing.
Is it going to be? Are we going to be able to stream it so that people can watch?
I don't think so, but I'll videotape it. It's at my friend does publicity or whatever for a weed company. So they asked me. She said, "Do you want to do stand up?" I was like, "Yes." Yeah. So I'm going to do Incognito.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to bring Incognito, the prison magician.
So many talented people.
It's called the Pacific Stone Commenter, Weed and Grub.
Oh, cool. Send that to us.
Yeah, send that to us so that we'll put it out there. Because if there's people in LA, we'll let them. They better go see.
$4.20.
Ooh, a whole whopping $4.20.
$4.20. I got it. That's cool.
Oh, $4.20. Hello, I missed that.
So it'll be fun. So we'll see.
All right. Well, look at here. We okay.
We can caught up with our personal lives.
Oh yes, Married at First Sight, San Diego.
Woo! A lot of stuff going on with that.
So
I got notes.
caught
I gotta pull my notes up because I have notes.
I just caught up with it too.
and
I just want to snip that damn tiny dread ponytail stuff off of Nate, whatever his name is. I want to clip those things. I just don't think it looks. I don't like it. I don't think it looks.
I like it when he pulls it back. I don't like it when it's loose. So if he's like trying,
I don't like it even in the back. The look. You know
So
what?
can I go full Joan Rivers on him because R.I.P. Joan Rivers with remember we used to do the fashion what was it called, fashion something on E after every award show. I'm going full Joan Rivers because this listen, the outfits and the wedding gowns and the shoes. Let's start with Nate. I get where you're coming from with his hair. I'm glad that he like laid his plaits down, and he had those little, the little ends sticking out. But that's normal when you have braids like that. But like I said last time with his last dragon suit, and then I said in the last podcast, all he needs is some Chinese slippers and some throwing stars. Well, what did he show up with at the wedding day? Minus the throwing stars, but he had them slippers on. Well, they weren't the actual Chinese slippers, but they were slip-on loafers that I was like, oh my goodness gracious. There was nothing cute or handsome about that outfit of his. But Stasha liked it, so she thought he was handsome.
Such a weird couple. They're such a weird couple to me.
All right, but can we get to the nuts and bolts of Stasha and Nate?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we talk? Listen, their wedding was cute. I liked their vows. I thought it wasn't as great as Alexis and Justin, but with regards to the vows. But let's address the elephant in the room and talk about Nate's little white girlfriend, Megan, that he fucked. We all know he fucked her at one point, maybe twice. And that bitch was at their wedding. Did y'all see that shit? When she was like, we always go hiking and we look at the sunsets, and then they played Married at First Sight was smart. Lifetime played that reel back when they said at the wedding, he loves to watch the sunset. And Stasha's face, I was like, Stasha was all me. Stasha was all me at that moment. And I was waiting for Stasha to lose her shit on that poor little white girl.
She's like, I see you. She's like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And Nate didn't have the nutsack to curb that shit and tell that bitch, let's let that go. Nah, I'm married now, so we can't do that. Because Megan was laying it on thick, like, oh, we do all that, and maybe you like now.
When we all go hiking,
we can all go on hikes. Now we can include you on our hikes and our sunset watching. And Sasha's looking at her like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna happen, boo boo. I'm gonna do that with my husband.
Right. She put a kibosh on it quickly.
Oh, that's going to be problematic. That's going to be the thorn in Stasha's side. Stasha's gonna lose her shit, amongst other things, because I kind of think Nate is a little Jekyll and Hyde-ish, along with another person on the cast. I don't think Nate's showing his true colors. I think Nate's got some shit, and it's gonna come out.
My take on Stasha, is that how you pronounce her name again? Stasha?
Stasha, yeah.
I get the vibe from her because everybody's like, she's so strong and she's motivated and blah, blah. I don't think she is as much as people are. And I can see her doing a Katina on us.
You think so? I don't think so at all.
See, because it's like, I feel like from my time watching the show, the people who bark the loudest about how independent they are and about how strong they are always turn out not to be.
No,
so
I don't. No.
To see if she makes a turn.
But she doesn't say that. I think other people.
Other people around her say that. So I'm like, I haven't fully gotten a grasp on her, but I'm just
like, how rich is she?
Huh?
Like, how successful is she? That's what I want to know.
I think she's very successful, according to what she has said. And the latest she has her own real estate company. She's purchased like 2 or 3 homes.
Is that the wind?
Sorry, outside it's getting windy. My umbrella. I don't want my umbrella to fall over, so I'm holding it. Anyway, she's purchased several real estate properties in San Diego and renting them out.
You need to cover your mic because you don't have a windshield on that mic.
Oh, I got my cover upstairs. Damn it.
That's all right. Now it's good. It's good now.
All right.
Yeah. So she's making $500,000 probably.
Or
Maybe, but her goal is to. She also has properties in other states and other cities. That's her end game. Because at the wedding, she was asking him, "Are you hell bent on staying in San Diego? Or are you open to moving to other places?" Because she said to him, "I have other properties, and my end game is to purchase properties wherever and rent them out."
I like San Diego because I have my white girlfriend there. That's what he said.
Thank you. Thank you.
But remember, he said, what was it at? I think it was at, wasn't the bachelor party or something, but they all, the white girl asked him, how do you think this woman's going to deal with, or your wife's going to deal with you having, and not just one, she said so many female friends. So it's more than just the blonde girl.
Yeah, it is. And his friends at the reception asked Stasha, his male friends, his ushers, or what are they, groomsmen, asked him, "How do you feel about him having female friends?" And she said, which was the respectable answer, which I would have answered the same way, "I don't have a problem with it as long as boundaries are set." Like you cannot, you have to set boundaries, and you cannot cross those boundaries. So when she said that, what I got from it was, my brain was like, that's on Nate, because those are his friends.
Right.
Like, as his wife, girlfriend, whatever, you can have all the female friends you want. It is not my job, now that I'm with you, to come and tell you how to treat, I can't dictate to your female friends, do not come here. That's your job. Yes. If you love me, if you want this marriage, which Nate obviously did because he signed up for Married at First Sight, then he's going to need to talk to his female friends when they overstep a boundary. And he clearly failed test number 1 when Miss Megan was all up in Stasha's face talking about, well, she was clearly acting like she was the woman in charge, and like, well, now that you're here, maybe we get you now, you'll be involved in all of our hikes and all of our sunsets. Nah, bitch, you're out, bitch. That would have been me if I was sitting there. No, we're going to make our own memories, and you're going to fall back. If we want to invite you to a hike or to go see a sunset, we'll invite you. But as of today, you're out of the picture. Period. End of story.
She just checked that. She now she knows, and now she's going to see.
That's right.
He responds, but you could see her go, like, oh, this is
her face.
She's something interesting to deal with.
Yeah.
I want to see how she really deals with it.
And she was crying. Wasn't she crying? Wasn't that like?
Oh yeah, she was all upset. You got a good one. She's like, you got a good one. And all I kept saying to myself was, she's so upset because he didn't choose her. She was obviously throwing her shot at Nate all this time, and Nate wasn't biting. Bitch, get the hint, bitch. He didn't want you. He got on Married at First Sight.
I wonder why he is on Married at First Sight, though. He doesn't seem like the person who's like hell bent on, I want to get married. Doesn't seem that way to me. But
he didn't seem that way to me either. And I think, who was it, you, Tanya, that just said there was that Dr. Jekyll?
That's what I'm saying. I like Nate, but there's something about Nate that I'm like, it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. And there's another person on the cast, I'm sure everybody's going to be like, oh, we already know. There's another person on the cast that, to me, it's a Jekyll and Hyde complex.
Who?
Are we done with talking about Nate and Stasha? Because we'll go right into it.
Well, the only thing I have left to say is, like, I haven't formed like a total opinion on anybody yet. I do kind of like the cast right now, but for him, there's something very shady about him to me, yes. And I don't know what it is. So I definitely can't say I like him. I'm watching him, and for her,
exactly,
I do like her, but I also wonder if she is the person that everybody's saying that she is. So I'm kind of careful on whether or not she's as strong as I just seen it happen to me. I'm jaded at this point.
That's going to be an interesting couple. Put it that way.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
I agree with you, because if she doesn't turn out as the season goes on, as she's made, if she doesn't end up being the person that she's made herself to be, I will be highly disappointed in her on that one, because I'm like, why would you need to do that? There's no need for that.
So successful. And
Right. Just have your career. Just say you have a good career. You don't have to be like, I'm a boss lady.
Yeah, and she's used to being independent and having no one tell her what to do, or being in a relationship like that.
Yeah.
So she's used to being in it. It's gonna be interesting.
But then a lot of people who are so used to being independent, who we think are so used to being independent, will quickly give that up for somebody that they want, for a marriage, somebody that they want to be with.
Yeah.
But is Nate the right dude?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I think they're going to get they're into the whole physicality and the sexual attraction of each other, and they like their personalities right now. I think during the honeymoon it's going to be hot and heavy and steamy, and next week we're going to be talking about it like, oh my god. But after that, when they come home, shit's going to hit the fan. But before we move on, I have 2 points.
Just cut those things. You just need to cut
2 points. Nate's dad showed up to the wedding, so I could quell the rumors that they could possibly be siblings, because Nate's dad was there. And number 2, can we give Stasha's mother her flowers? Because that sister is gorgeous.
She looks good.
Absolutely stunning. Like, she is goals for the 60 and over set. Like, she was absolutely flawless.
She's like a nice woman, and
very nice with her husband, but there was nothing. She was absolutely flawless.
Alike though, what is they don't look alike.
No, if you pay attention to Stasha, you look at Stasha, her sister, and the mother from right here.
Right, yeah.
They all look alike, exactly the same.
I thought that she looked exactly like her mom.
Exactly.
She's brown, and the sister and her, was the father white?
I'm assuming the dad must be white or very light-skinned African American. Because
I mean, look at Mia and me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's go.
All right. So we're moving on. Next couple, because we were talking about the Jekyll and Hyde thing. Mitch and what's her name? Mitch and what's Mitch's girl? Well, I got the names right here. Mitch and Kristen.
Okay.
Mitch is a complete Jekyll and Hyde to me, because during the matchmaking phase, he was so sensitive, talking about what he wants and how he is with his nieces, being the manny and saving the environment and all of this shit. He was so even keeled during the matchmaking process. And if anybody that's watching and watches us and watched it, if you saw differently, please comment, because all I saw during the matchmaking special was even keeled Mitch. Then Mitch gets matched. Then we get to the wedding, and Mitch has a full-on tantrum, goes full-on Broomzilla, because the barber cut his beard down too low, and he went bald, and he was surfing and cut his head, and now he's got band-aids on his head.
A little band-aid? Why you have a big strapping band-aid that's sticking up like this on your head? Like, you can't get one of those things.
Honey, they have liquid band-aids now, where all he had to do was have somebody pour a little liquid and it tightens up. Why are you walking out there with 2 ass band-aids unless Band-Aid is sponsoring now? I'll get to the sponsorship shit now that I'm disgusted with, but we'll talk about that at the end.
He's like this at the wedding.
There you go. You should have had your
I am Mitch.
You should have had your crazy ass killer hat on to the tip to the side. That's what you should have had now.
So you're saying I thought you were saying that the Jekyll and Hyde was gay.
No, I think his Jekyll and Hyde is he presents well. He presents what people want to see. But in reality, he is not that person. He showed his ass at the wedding before when he was getting ready.
Right.
Then he showed his ass during the wedding. First of all, I'm going to give him put my Joan Rivers hat on now again. He when people are like talking about my taste in how men dress formally, Mitch's classic tuxedo.
Yes.
I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
I thought that was everything. That's what I want. If I ever get married again, which will be never, I want that dude to show up in that all black tux with the black bow tie, and I need that classic black bow tie affair thing. I love it. But he had the balls. How you gonna show up in your black classic tux and then say about your bride, it's your wedding, number one, and you say about your bride, I prefer more natural. She's a little glammed up. Like, motherfucker, did you want her to walk? If she walked down the aisle with some flip-flops and a Miu on, with no makeup and her hair all disheveled, would you be okay with that? Because he got a rock hard boner when her mother walked down the aisle. You see how he lit up like a Christmas tree when her mother walked down the aisle. He's like, are you the bride? And then all of a sudden his bride walks down. She's like, no, I'm the mother. Then his bride walks down and he's just like, ew.
They were talking about that a lot
Yeah.
on the internet. That this
And you saw at the reception how when he was talking to the mother, he said to the mother, I thought you were my bride. And she was all like, something's off with that mother too. Something shady. You don't try to upstage your daughter. I don't give a damn how good you look. She showed up looking like a bridesmaid, number one, and she had that heavily cleavage, tight dress. Mama, put on something a little bit more appropriate. You are the mother of the bride. She totally tried to upstage her daughter. I'm done.
I don't think I didn't read it that way.
I
just
did.
read it that, she's not like as old as she wants to be. I mean, not as old as she's not very old, and she wants to try and maintain some kind of youthfulness about herself. And that's with the dress. That's what I got from her. From him, I didn't get the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing so much. From me, I feel like I liked him during the beginning when they were talking about going through the picking process. I liked him then. I liked him a little less at the wedding, only because of his interaction with the mother. And I don't think the mother was inappropriate. I just thought that he showed a little bit too much attention to her.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy. So that's the reason why. And maybe that his bride is not his physical type.
Oh, and obviously she's not, because he didn't let an opportunity slip that he was not attracted to her.
And for a man, that is not going to change.
No.
A woman can kind of like, okay, I can grow into liking him, and I wasn't attracted to him, man. I like him.
Personality. Yeah. If he presents a good personality and he's good to her and he's like cordial and, chivalrous, she'll change her role. She'll change her mind. A man, no, he's not going to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, I think that marriage isn't going to work.
More high maintenance than she's trying to let on. Like, she's like, oh, I don't mind if he doesn't have, as long as he loves his job and he's happy. I get that part. But he doesn't sound like he has.
He's an extremist with that shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that
he's the kind of dude when yes, you're right, Chris. He's an environmental extremist. He's trying to save the planet, and I commend him for that. But he's that dude that, oh, my goodness, if I fuck up one day and I'm drinking water out of a plastic bottle.
Wow. Yeah. What are you drinking water out of a bottle right now?
If I grab my spring water out of the bottle and I go to throw it in the trash, he's gonna beat me, for God's sakes. No, I'm good. I don't need that kind of stress in my life.
I don't know. He's not excited.
No, not at all. I don't think that's gonna work. And I think that but then again, it could, because again, I liken them to, what's her name? And they're the bald-headed couple, and they compared them to in the matchmaking special.
North Carolina.
Yes.
From North Carolina.
I forgot her name. And they're still married and happy. I think this is going to be I don't know. I'm on the fence. I shouldn't say it's not going to happen. They're not going to make it. I think this season they're going to be toxic as hell, like the other couple from the North Carolina special. And it's just going to keep us on the edges of our seat.
But have you seen, you know, usually by this time you see like these previews and they're like over the top previews. I haven't saw any over the top previews. You?
No. Well, no, they can't give any over the top previews because
we've been
inundated with weddings, and we still have one more wedding to go. I mean, it's been like, what, 4 weeks now?
No, I mean, by now we have seen previews,
right? Because it was Michaela. We were waiting on Michaela for weeks,
right?
Yep. When she was
from the very beginning, because we knew that she was going to go up. I'm just saying, my point is that I haven't seen any over the top previews from this season. Every season they show you the kind of explosive moments. So I'm wondering if they kind of like, you know, mellowed out some with, you know, picking out like crazy couples that are just going to go crazy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, we will see. We will see. We will see. Let me look at my notes before we move on.
Miguel and what's it called?
Yeah, I talked about Mitch with his suit. I loved his suit. Back to the my Joan Rivers. I gotta take it on the wedding dresses, because I was looking at all the wedding dresses. Me personally, and people in our YouTube world or on Twitter or on our whatever website, let me know in the comments. My personal opinion, I thought Stasha's dress was the best, with Kristen second. The rest of the dresses, I can't.
You weren't feeling.
I wasn't feeling it. So I only have top two. Stasha 1, Kristen 2nd. And my men's suit was Mitch number 1. Right. And I have to say, I know I kept flapping my gums about the whole I like a classic black suit. But I have to say, in the suit episodes when they were doing it, Ben, even though their marriage hasn't happened yet, Benny or Ben, whatever his name is, his suit, I loved it. And I'm not in favor of a man wearing a white suit, but I loved how he did it with the black tuxedo pants and the white jacket with the black bow tie. So let's see if he shows up in that suit. Mitch is my number 1 male suit, and Ben is my number 2 suit, unless he changes.
Jason looked like a scarecrow.
Justin, and I'm gonna say it, and I may catch flack from it, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Justin looked like a stone cold WNBA player. Did I stutter?
I didn't get it.
What do you mean?
Why do you say he looked like a?
Because it's all over the internet. I'm not the first one saying this. I have been having conversations with everybody on Twitter, Facebook. He just emanates femininity. There's just something about him. He is just so feminine. There's nothing. First of all, I don't think he's attractive personally for me. So he's 7 foot tall or 6'9" or whatever, however tall he is. He's just skin and bones, the scarecrow, like you said. But he emanates femininity to me. He just has that feminine energy, and that's not attractive to me.
I think it's a different being that tall and being that. Usually, no matter what, when you see someone like that, you're automatically intimidated. So big people like that tend to shine themselves down and soften themselves up so it can be more palatable for people. As a 6'8" black man, I would imagine for his whole life he's had to be like, I'm okay. I'm not gonna. Does that make sense?
No,
no, it doesn't.
The gentle giants.
No. Because you can be a gentle giant. You can be a gentle giant and still be masculine. There is nothing. I'm sorry. For me, maybe I'm just reading Justin wrong.
Where are you
There
getting
is nothing
NBA player
masculine
from?
about Justin to me.
Why is
Nothing.
he an NBA player?
WNBA player because he's 6'9" and he's feminine.
Okay,
I said WNBA, not NBA.
I didn't get the W.
There's nothing, to me, there's nothing masculine about Justin, with the exception that he's a man and he's 6'9". There's nothing masculine about him. Let's go to the wedding reception. Can we talk about the whole garter thing when he got down there and he was doing his little dance and I was just like, ew. Like, was I the only one like completely creeped out about that? And then he took the garter. He's like trying to do this little sexy man dance, which was not manly at all. And then he gets on his knees, gets the garter, and then he does this like pose. He goes, oh, all dramatic, and goes, oh, and everybody's looking at him, and I'm like, what? Am I the only family member at the reception that's going to be like, why is this man woman here marrying my sister? I said it.
I don't.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. I don't get totally. I get that he's a little on the softer side.
There's nothing soft about him. He is given that big feminine energy. Come on. I'm not the only one that is seeing this. And I am just the one that's going to vocalize it. I'm just going to keep it real because everybody's vocalizing it. Just go on Twitter and Facebook. Everybody's saying it.
He is a little bit,
Donald Trump.
But he seems to be, he's into her.
Oh, he loves her. I think, and a little bit of me finds that suspect because again, I come from a belief of there's no such thing as love at first sight. You might be enamored with them, with their personality, but to me, there's no love at first sight where after an hour, just because I married you as a stranger, now you're the one. No, I might like you and I might like this person that you're presenting to me at this moment, but I got to get to know you. Peep the reception and the wedding. All he kept saying is, oh yeah, she's it for me. Oh,
because
she
ain't
going nowhere. No, that is problematic for me. That is red flag for me. He is all into her. He ain't letting her go.
Do you think she's? Do you think she's on the masculine side?
Yes.
So that might kind of work out.
Might work out for them.
Because she seems to me kind of like not masculine, but very.
Yeah, I didn't get masculine from her.
She's athletic. She plays her flag football with her friends. She's thick. She's got a great little body. I love her. But yeah,
she's gorgeous to me.
I think she's very pretty.
I think she's gorgeous.
I think she's very pretty.
Liked her.
I don't think she's second. I do not think she's attracted to him as much as she'd like to tell us that at the reception. She's not attracted.
He wasn't her type.
Yeah, she said he wasn't her type.
But then you peeped. I mean, she said he wasn't her type or whatever, but she's willing to give it a chance. And then she kept, touching his hand, holding his hand. To me, she seemed like, you know what? I'm going all in on this.
Exactly.
I'm not buying it.
Into so to me, I think both of them are into it with an open mind.
Yes,
I'm not buying it.
About both of them.
I'm not buying it. I think she's talking a good game. I think she's psychologically talking herself into it because she's given up. She's denied 3 proposals. So now she's here and now this is what she has. I think she's talking herself into it. Don't get me wrong. But I wish them well.
I think that she would have when she was drunk, because she was drunk in her little
she was banged up at the wedding.
I would think that she would have slipped something in there that we would go, see, but she was like even more when she was tipsy, all in on it, as opposed
but honey, how many times have we all been drunk in our lives? Drunk people look at other people like, I love you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I just love you. Come on.
She started off sober, but you said that she's talking herself into it. That's being open to it. Because she said he's not the type that I would usually go to. But if she's talking herself into it, she's being open to the marriage.
Listen.
Remember about the Twitter thing? I mean, the Tinder thing. She didn't respond to him.
That's right.
And he said, "What's up?" And she didn't respond. And she's like, "Hey." And he was like, "That's it?" She's like, "Yep."
That's right. Yep. So now they're paired together. I think. Listen, I hope that they make it. Listen, my heart of hearts, I hope that they make it. I really want them to make it for Justin's sake, because Justin is all the fuck in. I want them to make it, but my devil on my left shoulder here is saying, yeah, not so much. That shit's gonna turn real quick. But okay, let me put my Joan Rivers hat on again, because I'm talking about fashion. I love this. Can we just talk about Alexis's, how do I say this in a most Joan Rivers way? What the fuck was that rabbit / cat-haired fur coat that she was wearing from the 1970s out of her grandmama's closet? For God's sakes, Lord Jesus. I didn't know it got that cold in San Diego. I thought San Diego was one of the cities. Cold. I thought San Diego was one of those cities in America that, like, if you want to live, everybody keeps telling me, oh, T, if you want to live somewhere that's between 75 and 80 degrees all year, no humidity, move to San Diego. But they're out there with fur coats and leather jackets.
It gets cool at night. It gets cool at night.
Well, damn, that cool? That you need a fur coat? A rabbit coat?
High, low 60s, yeah.
And plus, too, people like fur coats. So they're going to wear them, like they wear them in LA. But it gets cold in LA at night sometimes, too. So
I think they're both into it. I think
they are.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, wait. One more thing. What y'all think? I'm just going to put it out there and let y'all talk about it. What y'all think? I have my notes here. What y'all think about Alexis yelling? He's celibate, y'all.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. Oh, but as I said, the clip that I sent you, he's like, remember the clip I sent you? He's like, I'm hard as a rock.
That was kind of gross.
Yes.
So I'm like, he's a sexual dude. I get. Remember, he said about these women, they just want to see how big I am. But he seems to be carrying it about like, I'm slinging it. I'm holding on for something more.
I don't got his wife though.
If he blows her back out, he can be like this.
If he blows, listen,
and be your best friend all day. But if he's blowing the back out,
I want him to blow her back out, because I need her to talk about that. Because if she don't talk about, he's been braggadocious on himself this entire time about women. All they want to know is if I'm packing. Okay, if he's going to have to blow her back out, because if she doesn't talk about it in the next couple of weeks, because Lifetime's going to drag this last wedding and the honeymoon's out another fucking 5 weeks. So we got time. Oh, if she doesn't even utter her lips to say, oh, we consummated and oof, I need traction. No, he ain't handling it. He ain't putting it down like most men. All talk, no action.
I don't know if he's.
He ain't breaking her back. Let's just call a spade a spade. He is not breaking her back. And if he does, I will eat crow.
He
literally
very sexual.
Okay.
He does. He seems very sexual.
No, he doesn't.
And
there is nothing sexual about him.
He keeps talking about.
Again, he keeps talking about it. People that can do don't brag.
As hard as a rock. So
he was hard as a rock. He's being celibate
for his wife.
No, he's not hard as a rock for his wife. He was hard as a rock for titties coming down the aisle. The man's celibate. He's gonna get hard as a rock for any ass and titties that presents himself.
He's so feminine. I mean, he's so feminine and this and the other.
But he's celibate because he that's by choice. That's a choice.
He can still get rock hard, but he's still effeminate.
Yeah, but if you can have if he gives it to her the way he keeps talking about it or whatever, and he's a sweet, nice, friendly, tall dude, she's gonna be okay with that.
He's not going to give it to her like he thinks he's going to give it to her. Let's just
don't
put the
know.
cards on the table.
I don't know. You don't know about people. You don't know about people, and if he keeps closeting, if he keeps talking about all, I don't know. I don't think.
Listen, I would love to be proved wrong. I hope that this season proves me wrong, and at the end, when we're on our final podcast for the season, I'm like, I was wrong. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. I will own it. But I'm going to say,
like Olajuwon talked about it too.
Oh, did he?
Olajuwon all last week, did he? You went off on it. He's like, oh, he's not doing. He ain't He ain't doing all that.
You believe all his braggadociousness,
right?
You don't remember that?
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Olajuwon being effeminate or something. No, listen, that's two different things. Listen to me. Olajuwon, and I will hold my belief to it. Olajuwon beat her down, and he's okay. Now he's a changed person. Whatever.
I'm talking about the sexuality thing. I'm talking about, he was talking about kind of how, he was dating all these women doing nothing.
And then I guarantee you, I still believe he was talking shit. I still believe that this so-called mother and daughter that he so-called fucked don't exist because it never happened. Because do you think that they are out there on a show? Everybody's all about their 15 minutes of fame or five minutes of fame or getting follows and likes, whatever. Where is this mother and daughter? They would be all over the internet, putting it out there, putting his business out there. I think Olajuwon's full of shit, but that's last season. We're over Boston. Fuck Boston. Let's get back to San Diego.
We'll see what Justin does. Even though he is soft in his thing, I think he's all in, and I think he wants to. We'll see.
Oh, I think he's going to be all in for her. It's going to be Alexis. If this marriage doesn't fail, it's going to be because of Alexis, not Justin, because Justin apparently is already fucking whipped on wedding day.
I think, okay, when she comes into a room, she just explodes in the room. She's friendly, she's funny, she's very beautiful, has a very engaging smile, engaging personality. He sees all of that. Of course, he's like, oh my God, I hit the jackpot. This one woman is everything I want her to be. So I don't think he's like, oh my God, so lost in himself just yet. I think he's just like, it's his wedding day. He's excited. He has a woman that's excited about him.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think that, I would like for them to make it, especially for him, because I don't think he's that attractive, but I would love if she fell in love with him.
I would love it because looking at the history of Married at First Sight, the majority of the couples that are still together and having babies and being successful are couples of color, and I'm all for it. So the majority are couples of color. I'm all for it. So listen, I'm Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black. So, but I'm just stating my opinion.
One other person that I could say is kind of questionable is Miguel.
Oh, let's get to that.
Okay.
Miguel that's a really interesting couple, I think. Because she's got all kinds of,
the whole religion,
all new things to her.
Okay, yeah.
The whole religion thing.
If Nate was matched up with, what's her name, that girl, it'd be a wrap. They would be, I think, if Nate and her hooked up, because she's still young and doesn't know any better, she would, and he's kind of shady, slick. Stasha can feel it, I think, a little bit more. This girl would be totally like, but Miguel is kind of like a big kind of, why would you bring a Dungeons and Dragons thing to your reception? I mean,
because that's what he likes. That's what he's into.
Don't do that at the wedding. I mean, come on.
I know. I would bring a dog.
That's a little much.
Oh, I agree with you, but that's what he likes. But here's the thing. Again, just like I talked about Justin being all in, hook and crook with Alexis, He's all wide, nose wide open. The same can be said about Lindy, because Lindy that's her man. She is all into him.
He's into her too.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. But I think he got a little reality check at the reception when her brother pulled out that creepy ass fucking religion shit. Well, you about to, do you accept the Lord as your savior? I was like, oh no, here we go.
That he was going to do that, so he was.
He did. She did,
and he
but
was very diplomatic about it too. He did a good job.
He did a really good job. But at the end of the day, if I just marry somebody, you told me about it. Now I'm sitting across your family and I'm looking at them, and this is that creepy ass look that they were giving him. I would have given him the same answer or something similar. But in the back of my head, I would have registered like, this is how she was raised. These are her people.
But
so now, red flag.
But she
red flag.
But no, she doesn't want that. If she was that same way, it'd be one thing. She's totally free and wants
to be more independent. She is trying to find other ways how to assimilate into, the culture that she wants to be in, not that overly religious culture. But let me ask you a question, because I liked her,
she's absolutely, I think she's cute. I think the two of them look really cute together.
Right? So I don't have like a strong opinion of her, but when Alexis said that, I think it was a couple that like the very first episode, I think Alexis said that the only thing that they have in common right now is that they're both getting married. And she's like, she seemed like there was something about Lindy that she was not totally feeling. So I've been kind of like watching her. Do you all remember when that happened?
Yep.
Did you kind of like,
yep.
Okay, what's up with Lindy? So I'm kind of like watching her low key, because that religion shit can sneak up on you and get really nasty.
And even Lindy's friends, let's go back. Even Lindy's friends made the comments about her, like she's a great girl, but she can kind of fly off the handle at times flip out and do whatever. So
you don't remember that, Chris? You look.
No.
Oh, you need to go back.
Well, it was in the first episode.
Yeah, the matchmaking episode. I don't think it was the matchmaking. I think it was the announcement when she was announcing to her friends.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that
they all
I think Miguel is Miguel. I don't see I can honestly say I don't see anything wrong with Miguel. I think Miguel is a good dude. I think Miguel is set in his ways with his his job, his Dungeons and Dragons. He's got good friends. He's got a good sister. And he's
soft as Justin.
Huh?
I think he's just as soft as Justin is.
Probably more so. He seems like he makes extremely bad personal decisions when it comes to other women, and he said it. I mean, his friends when he.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right on that one.
The texting thing, I forgive you. Text again, I forgive you. I mean, how many times did this dude?
Yeah,
like, he said it himself. He gives people way too many chances to run him over.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about him. I'm not really concerned that he's like a bad guy. I'm like with you, Tanya. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Very soft. Into what he's into. No, not a big deal. But I'm concerned about her because I feel like some sneaky shit is gonna pop up.
Yep.
He's not gonna be a nice girl.
Yep. Nope. I don't think so. I don't.
You don't think she's gonna be a nice girl, really?
No.
I'm on the only because of what her girlfriend said, but more so because of Alexis. And Alexis didn't say anything bad about her. Okay. But you know when you first
all she said is she talks a lot.
I'll have to watch out.
I didn't see that part when she said she talks a lot.
Yep, she said she just talks a lot. There's something off about her, and she's not. It was kind of to the effect that she did say she just talks a lot, like she's not listening, and that's what I took from it because all of them were they all met up for the first time, and they were getting to know each other, and it was kind of like they were all listening to each other, but there's Lindy. And then when Lindy started opening her mouth, it was all about Lindy and not about nobody else.
and that's a red flag for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like I get that she's trying to get away from her religion and that kind of like oppressive religion thing that she has. Are they Mormon?
They're Seventh Day Adventists.
So I get that. But I also feel when they was like, you know how emotional you can get and how angry you can get about things.
Really?
These are her friends describing her.
Oh wow.
I'm like,
Yep.
I don't think that she is as nice as she's coming off right now. I feel
That's
like,
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe my friends like that if
And here's another misleading thing for me, which I'm like, I need to have them digging a little bit deeper, because at the wedding, Miguel is a doctor via PhD.
mhm.
But
Right.
when it went to Lindy with her family and friends want you to know that she's a doctor. She never said, unless I missed it, unless she is a PhD, she is not a doctor, because they said she's a physical therapist.
That's
Physical therapists are not medical doctors.
Yeah.
Physical therapists are physical therapists. Period. Like respiratory
I
therapists,
was going to say respiratory.
like occupational therapists. And I'm not giving shade to those professions, because those professions, they work hard, get their education, and they make good money. No shade to that, but they are not medical doctors.
You don't call your physical therapist Dr. So
A doctor. No, you call them Lindy. Okay. So for me, when they said that, I was like, where does the doctor come from? Because they said she's a doctor, and all of everybody on Miguel's side was like, oh my God, she's a doctor too. And I was just like, and then they were like, she's a physical therapist. Me, if I was Miguel's friend sitting in that audience, I'd have been like, yeah, let me see her credentials, God damn it. Because if that bitch ain't sitting on a PhD, she's not a fucking doctor. She's a fucking she's a PT.
Mm-hmm.
That's what comes after her names, Lindy, whatever the fuck,
But
PT.
she didn't say it, so that's a point for her, because as long as she's not saying it,
but is it a point for her? Because here's the thing: people are only going to talk about you what they know about you. So unless Lindy has told them that she's a doctor, why would that would be like, we're friends. That would be like me trying to describe you to somebody and say Shahida and Chris, they're doctors or lawyers, esquires, what have you. I don't know that about you. I would never say that about you unless you told me that.
Yeah.
So for me, that's on Lindy. If that's what her family and friends is spewing, that's a Lindy flaw, not her family and friends.
But she could have told her family, I'm not a doctor. Stop saying that. And they just fucking say it.
But Lindy didn't say nothing at the wedding, because here's the thing. They said it and Lindy didn't flinch. Because if that was me, and they were like, Tanya, oh, so-and-so, Idris Elba, Idris, Tanya's friends and family want you to know this about her. She's a doctor. I'd look at all you motherfuckers and be like, what the fuck kind of country ass shit is that? Y'all know I ain't no damn doctor.
She's obviously something to the doctor thing. There's gotta be.
There's gotta be. So I'm gonna need that to play out more. Because you can't say you're a doctor if you're not a fucking doctor. Period. End of story. So I'm gonna need her to be a PhD too. Because even after I was going throughout the reception, and no, after they got married, not the reception, when they first sat down and was talking, and she was all enthralled that he was a doctor, and he was telling her all his stats, and she never once parted her lips to say, oh my God, I'm a PhD. When he said, oh yeah, I got my PhD, and she, oh my God, I got my PhD too. That would have been me if he said that. Oh my God, I got my PhD too. No, we're both doctors. Even if I don't use it.
Yeah, well, we'll see about her. I have and it's so funny because she seems like the mildest one, or like, the she's not flamboyant. She's not talking. She is talking a lot, but it would be funny that she would be the one that's on my radar instead of like some of the more rambunctious couples.
And I like them. And don't get me wrong, I like them together. I think that I think that they're cute. That's the only thing that I could write down. I was like, they're cute together. They're giddy. They're cute. They're like little children, like kids with a crush and in love.
Yeah,
I like that. Whether it survives or not.
Were pretty much so from the weddings that that we've seen. I thought all of them showed chemistry.
All the couples.
I thought they did. Yeah.
I haven't seen Ben and
next week is supposed to be Ben and Morgan.
Remember,
I don't know if that's gonna work too.
Huh?
Can we talk about the product placement though? Jesus Christ, with Mitch and his Band-Aids, and then all of a sudden you see the commercials now with what's his name, James Allen, designing wedding rings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got Pastor Cal and what's her name, Peppa, doing a whole ass commercial for the whole ass ring line, and I'm just like, really? Okay, this is where this is going now.
Pretty much.
Now we're getting on the whole Bachelor. Now we're getting on the whole Bachelor theme here. You got friggin' the whole ring designer, the dress designer, the suit designer, everything. Yeah.
Very, very not corporate, but very,
very corporate. So I'm looking forward to see if, to talk about Morgan and Ben. Morgan, as we all know, Morgan is kind of feeling insecure because she's like, does he really have COVID, or is he trying to get a way out? I don't think he is. That is the marriage that I'm most curious about, because Ben is all about his mama. And you know how I feel about a man that cannot cut them kitchen strings off of his damn mama's waist. I think he's going to always be looking at her, and she's going to have to live up to his mother. And if she doesn't, he's not going to be happy. And that kind of relationship will never work, ever. And I could speak to it because I was in a relationship like that. And that's all I'm going to say.
That's everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll see what happens next week.
Interesting.
It'll be very interesting.
I'm interested. Put that way, I'm intrigued with this.
I am intrigued. I will say this, as opposed to, and I'm ashamed to say this. Well, I'm not, because I don't really care. I shouldn't say I'm ashamed. But being that we're here, well, not you, Chris, and not you, Shahida, anymore. But being that I'm here in Massachusetts, Boston was a fucking shit show, and I must say, starting San Diego, I feel a little bit optimistic, but we shall see. So far, the couples have,
ain't gonna work. That's one off the bat. That's not gonna work.
What now?
Mitch ain't gonna work.
Oh, Mitch ain't gonna work. Mitch is gonna be the demise of that relationship.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
And I think Ben's, and they haven't even got married yet, but I think Ben is going to be the demise of his relationship, because he will never let his mother go, no matter how many times Morgan says something to him. Ben will always choose his mama over her, and that's a recipe for disaster.
I didn't like her too much, though. I mean, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I mean, but I'm interested to see what her whole personality will be like, because so far I didn't like
I'm interested to see how she'll be when he's so frugal, because this could be a Jose Rachel situation. He's all about he makes good coin. He doesn't make no bones about it. That motherfucker got money, but he ain't trying to spend it, because he has a mission. He is focused. He wants to be retired by the age of 40. I give him that, but I don't think he's going to like the fact that she wants to go out and have dinners, go on vacation. When she sees his place, when she sees his very basic place, she's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I think that's going to be problematic, on top of the mama shit. Unless his mother is a good person and reels Ben in and says, Ben, I'm your mother. That's your wife. Work it out with her. I'm gonna take a couple of steps back and not be so involved. If his mother falls back and plays her position, they could work. But if his mother doesn't and inserts herself in that relationship, that shit will never work. I don't care who you are. It'll never work. Because he's always going to be going to mama instead of his wife. And when you do that, for me, you're not a man. Just go marry your fucking mother for all I care. That's all I'm ending it. I'm done. And let me get my banjo. I said it. We don't listen. I went balls to the walls today because I've been waiting to talk and I'm pent up. I'm irritated and I'm good. So I said it.
Well, all right then. We done. That's it.
Next week.
We'll see you next week.